Once upon a time, in a village nestled between a whispering wood and a sparkling lake, lived a young girl. She was known throughout the village as Little Red Riding Hood because of the red hooded cloak she wore whenever she skipped through the market square. One day, her grandmother fell ill, so Little Red Riding Hood was asked to take some bread, milk and honey to her as soon as possible. Being a good and helpful girl, she took the basket and went into the whispering woods. As she walked, she saw all sorts of strange things. First, a bluebird singing in a tree, then a family of rabbits thumping their feet, and then a deer with shining antlers. Every time something strange happened, Little Red Riding Hood would stop, scream, and run away as fast as she could. After a while, she came across a clearing, and in the middle sat a table with a bottle of water and a plate of honey cakes. And underneath the table sat the girl's blue bird, the rabbit family, and the deer. They all looked up at her and started to speak. The bluebird said, "Why do you come here every day? You must know that this is where the great and terrible wolf lives." Little Red Riding Hood replied, "I'm on my way to my grandmother's house, and I have to pass through this clearing every time." The bird flew up onto her shoulder and said, "Let me show you a different path." And all the animals followed. They led her over hills and through dales. Finally, they stopped at a beautiful house with a thatched roof and climbing roses. The bluebird said, "Your grandmother lives here now. I've brought her many gifts from the forest, and she's very happy here." Little Red Riding Hood knocked on the door, and when it opened, she could see her grandmother inside. But she didn't look sick at all. In fact, she looked very well and very happy. She gave Little Red Riding Hood a big hug and said, "Thank you for bringing me the bread, milk, and honey. But actually, I'm not sick. I just wanted to spend some time alone in the forest." Then she turned to the bluebird and the other animals and said, "Thank you for taking such good care of me." Little Red Riding Hood was very confused, so her grandmother explained everything. She said, "I was getting a bit tired of living in the village and being looked after by everyone. So I asked the animals to build me a house in the forest, and now I live here." Little Red Riding Hood understood, so she helped her grandmother carry the basket inside. From that day on, she visited her often, bringing her news from the village and the forest. And whenever Little Red Riding Hood walked through the whispering wood, she wasn't scared at all, because she knew it wasn't the wolf that made the woods scary. It was her own fear. And now, whenever something made her afraid, she remembered the bluebird and the rabbit and the deer, and she felt safe. This is a story about facing your fears. Sometimes we get so caught up in our worries and anxieties that we forget to look at the world around us. When we do that, we miss out on all the beauty that life has to offer. So whenever you feel afraid, remember to take a deep breath, calm down, and look at the world around you. You might be surprised at what you see. You've reached the end of today's story. If you enjoyed listening, please leave a like and comment below. Your support motivates us to keep bringing you more great stories. And now it's time to say goodbye. But don't worry, we'll meet again next time. Until then, take care and remember, no matter how dark it gets, there's always a little light somewhere.